Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Today's tutorial is something that's very easy again. As usual, I try not to make things too difficult for people, but sometimes they look difficult, and that's kind of just a bonus, that it looks like it takes a lot of time and effort, but you can, trick people into thinking you've done this really complicated stitch, but it's actually really easy and really versatile as well. This is the crossed ripple stitch, and I've done this in a granny square just to show you what it looks like, but you can obviously grow this to make blankets, you can make scarves, and lots of different projects with this. You can even make clothes as well. So yeah, it's a really cool stitch. So let's just jump right in, and you will only need to remember rows 3 and 4. Those are the ones that will be repeating. So again, it is super easy, and it'll be our secret that it is so easy. Okay, so to start, you're going to work with multiples of 3. So for whatever size project, just say you're making a scarf, you can start with multiples of 3, and this here is 27. So if you want it a little bit wider, then you can, make it 36. So yeah, this is just an easy project, and we won't tell anybody. Okay, so chains in multiples of 3, and I'm going to do a granny square, just so if you want to make a granny square blanket and have different colors or different patterns, then you'll have the actual measurements for a granny square. And it depends on what kind of yarn you're using, if that will determine the size of the square. For this, I just used acrylic yarn. This is just baby weight acrylic yarn and a 4.5mm hook. And so if you use a slightly smaller, this is acrylic again, but I used a slightly smaller hook, and that so you can see that, and that the square is a little bit smaller. So I'd used a 3.5mm hook. So yeah, so I'm going to chain 27. So let's chain 27 and do it rather loosely as well. Okay, so once you have your chain of 27, you are going to go into the second chain from the hook. So not this one, you're going to go into this one, and you're going to do a whole row of single crochet, and that's just kind of your foundation row. So that's row 1. So I'll let you do that. And you will have 26 stitches. So just go across and do a single crochet in each one, and can keep counting, and I'll be quiet so that you can make sure you have 26 at the very end. Okay, so once we have our row of single crochet, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn our work. And the chain 3 that you do will always count as a double crochet. So that's your first stitch. So we're going to, and if you need to, you can always kind of stretch your work just to see depending on what kind of yarn or color you're working with. So you'll always skip this. See how you've done your chain 3. So if you kind of tug at that, you'll see that it's attached here. You're always going to skip that stitch. And then you're going to skip 1, 2. You're going to skip those 2 stitches, and into the third one here, you're going to do a double crochet. So that's yarn over and then just do a double crochet into that, and then chain 1, and then you're going to double crochet into the stitch just before this one that you did. So you're going backwards, so it's going to be an X. So just stick that through. I'll come closer. Stick that through, pull up your loop, and then pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So it will look like an X. And that's going to be how you work across this. But so what we do, again, you're going to skip these 2 stitches, and into the third one you do a double crochet, and then chain 1, and then double crochet into the previous one just before the stitch before the one you just worked into. Okay, and then skip 2, and into the third one you do another double crochet, chain 1, and then go backwards into the previous stitch and do a double crochet. Then skip 2, double crochet, chain 1, and then go backwards and do a double crochet into the previous stitch. Then you skip 2, and into the third one another double crochet, chain 1, and then go backwards and do a double crochet into the previous stitch. And then skip 2, double crochet into the third stitch, chain 1, and then double crochet into the previous stitch. Then skip 2, and into the third one, double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet into the previous stitch. And then skip 2 again, into the third one, you do a double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet into the previous stitch. And that will leave you, if you've done 27 chains, that's going to leave you this little stitch here. You're going to do a double crochet into that one, and that completes the row, and that also will give you a nice straight edge. So that's actually row 2 complete. So now we're going to do row 3. So from here on in, row 3 and row 4 are your repeat rows. So those are the ones, if you want to keep bouncing back, just to remember, it's rows 2, 3, and 4. So chain 1, turn your work, and then you'll see this stitch here. You're always going to skip that one because that's basically you've done your chain 1 here, and that counts. So leap over this little hump here, and you'll do a single crochet across the entire row. And if you're counting, and if it's easier to count, you will have 25 single crochets, and that's plus the chain 1 that you just did. So just count across and count 25 stitches. So if you want to pause this, and I will meet you at the end when you have counted and done 25 stitches. Okay, I've reached the end here, and you'll see it's actually 24, and you'll have this one double crochet from the previous row, so you will just do a single crochet into the top of that, and that gives you your 25th. Okay, so from here on we're doing row 4, so chain 3, turn your work, and again just remember that you're never going into this first stitch, because that's your double crochet stitch there. You're not going into this, so you actually don't even count it. So you count 1, 2, and then go into the third one and do your double crochet, chain 1, and then do a double crochet into the previous stitch. And you just do that all the way across. So you skip 2, and into the third one you do a double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet backwards. And you keep going. So skip 2, double crochet, chain 1, and then go backwards into the previous stitch. And you do that all the way across. And I will just show you how to end the row. So I've got one more stitch here. So it'll look like you have a little lump here. Don't worry about that. That's your last stitch that you're going to work into. So just finish off with your double crochet, chain 1, and then backwards. And then to finish off the row completely, there's this final little lump there. You do a double crochet into that. That's your final stitch, and that will give you a nice squared off edge and line to work with. So that is basically all you need for the crossed ripple stitch. So that's rows 3 and 4. So that's it. I will leave it to you. Make beautiful things. Happy crocheting. Take care of yourself wherever you are. So we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.